Now that we have finished discussing Reconstruction, let's turn our attention back to the North and the expansion of industry. During the late 1800s and early 1900s, natural resources began to fuel industrialization. A natural resource can be found in the earth. An immense industrial boom, or explosion, happened due to the following factors. First, there was a wealth of natural resources. Secondly, the government supported business and its growth. And thirdly, the growing urban population of immigrants gave cheap labor and markets for new products, so it was very easy for new businesses to grow. One of the most important natural resources found at this time was oil, or black gold. Can you guess why its nickname was black gold? It's because it's highly valuable. The person who discovered oil for the first time was a man named Edwin L. Drake, and he found it in Titusville, Pennsylvania. Oil would then be transformed into kerosene, which could power engines. However, they did not know that the byproduct gasoline was also valuable as well, so they just dumped it wherever they could. Another innovation of this time was the Bessemer steel process and the creation of steel. Prior to this, buildings and bridges were made from iron. And the only problem with that was that iron was dense, soft, easy to break, and rusted. With the creation of the Bessemer process, we got a much stronger byproduct. The way steel is created was by melting iron down and forcing air into it. This creates steel. With the creation of the Bessemer process, there are new uses for steel. The biggest customers for steel were the railroad industry. This was one of the biggest companies at the time. They would use the steel to build their tracks. Also, we were able to build bigger structures such as the Brooklyn Bridge, which still exists today. The first skyscraper was also built in Chicago called the Home Insurance Building. With steel, we could build higher, sturdier, and stronger buildings. Let's take a look at these two pictures as a comparison. On the left, we can see a picture of the Home Insurance Building. By our standards, it might not look so tall. If you look on the right side, you can see a picture of the Empire State Building. You can see how much our standards of steel have grown since then. Now you are looking at a picture of the Brooklyn Bridge. With the creation of steel, we could build longer and stronger bridges over larger bodies of water. The Industrial Revolution was also a time where inventions promoted change. The harnessing of electricity by Thomas Alva Edison from Menlo Park, New Jersey was one of the most important finds of the time. He was the inventor of the incandescent light bulb, which was invented in 1880 after many different trial and errors. By 1890, electricity ran many machines, which made travel faster and the manufacturing process in factories more efficient. Now that factories could produce products faster, they would be making more money in less time. Here you will see two pictures on how electricity impacted the cities. At the top right corner is a picture of Edison's lab. It is clear without electricity, Edison probably wouldn't have had the money to have such a lab like this. On the bottom left corner, you will see a picture of a city after electricity has run through it. Notice all the power lines and the trolleys operating on electricity. They're all over the city. There's also people everywhere, so it is clear that electricity also brought more people to this area. Does this remind you of any city today? Along with the invention of the light bulb, other inventions changed the lifestyles of Americans everywhere. First being the typewriter. The typewriter is the precursor to what we have as a computer today. It made copying information and writing so much faster. Also at this time, we have the first telephone. So without the invention of the typewriter and telephone, communication today would be a lot harder. This affected office work. Imagine being a secretary where you don't have a telephone or a typewriter. That would make your job next to impossible. The pictures on your screen are of one of the first typewriters and one of the first telephones. The typewriter doesn't have a screen like a laptop does today, However, you could see the words you were typing on a piece of paper. The telephone, on the other hand, does not have any numbers like they do today. If you wanted to make a phone call, you'd have to pick up the earpiece located on the top left corner and talk to the operator. The operator would then connect you to the person you were trying to contact. So, in summary, how exactly did industrialization impact the lives of Americans? First of all, factory work became easier. It was no longer necessary to perform back-breaking labor, as machines were now used to do the hard work. Also, it helped improve the standard of living, or the level of comfort you have from making money. People no longer had to worry about being homeless because it was easy to find a job. It also gave immigrants a sense of belonging. Also, at this time, the average work week was reduced by 10 hours. However, pay still remained an issue and will remain an issue for quite some time.